this ever end? What madness am I mired in? What slows this? What lures me to this swamp? This pit of despond where I drown in hopeless depression. Alone. Oh, so alone. Would that I could slough off this rose that smothers me. It hides me, for God's sake. And I become a buffoon, a comic clown, a player, mouthing the words of idiots, fools that clown those that mock those they claim to serve. Dressed in black suit, the costume of this civilian clown, cloak my transformation from dutiful general to obedient servant of the people. So easy then. Yes, sir. Done, sir. Salute. An about face, a march about the place. A decision made by another, my superior. Orders obeyed without question, without doubt. My mind but a soldier behind medals and epaulettes and glistening clusters of rank. But now I speak for the people. I act in their name. I serve no other. God, how I wish that were true. God, what awful do I coddle here? What cretin guides this ship of state, whose voice I hear and have come to hate? Now you know what the man wants, Powell? You know what he wants to hear? He wants you to tell him it's okay to kidnap. Well, maybe not kidnap. Maybe help Aristide get safely out of Haiti. To save his life, you know, because we're the good guys. We need you there, Colin. Because you's the black guy that knows what's good for them. And if you say it's okay, then it's okay. Mouthing the words of idiots, the fool that departs to play, and the fool that plays his part and departs to play the fool again to the plaudits of powers that make me twitch. Where have I buried everything I long to be? What road led me to this barren place? Why do I do what I do when I know it is black in my soul and white in my face? Have I succumbed to such hypocrisy that I can no longer trace the roots that hunger to be free, that gave purpose to my race?
We begin this evening talking about the extraordinary developments in Haiti over the weekend. Jean-Bertrand Aristide resigned yesterday as the country's president. Then President Bush ordered the deployment of the Marines as part of an interim international force to restore order. Today, President Aristide arrived in the Central African Republic. There have been many suggestions that he had been kidnapped by the United States. Secretary of State Colin Powell spoke about the allegations earlier today. Here is part of what he said.
He wrote a letter of resignation. I think he may have been in touch with other people. And a lease plane was brought in, and he departed at 6:15 thereabouts on Sunday morning. He was not kidnapped. We did not force him onto the airplane. He went onto the airplane willingly. And that's the truth. It would have been better for members of Congress who have heard these stories to ask us about the stories.
That is the most influential Oreo in the nation. Colin Oreo Powell. Black on the inside, white on the outside. The inside out cookie baked in a white oven. Who is that man? How come he look like me? He sound like me. He not be me. God, how I wish that were true, that I might get rest in the blackness night, knowing I had deserved the sleep that crowns those that fought the good fight. But sleep eludes me. It escapes my grasp as if it were a convict on the loose, and I, the Pink Panther, stumbling food, following the rule to its inevitable end. An ironic reason and civility. The face before the camera, quiet, assured. The very cadence of civilized man, explaining the unexplainable in measured tones. None would dare to question unless they appeared the fool. Got it. Fools caught in the act. Here's the Iago with infernal sneer, with tilted head and varnished voice, the ear and the asp of the mannequin that slips its hateful venom into that vacant space, unknown to a mind grown dull in time, doltish from drugs and drink. What demonic demands does he inject into that dummy? What mind possesses such scorn for the common man called to slaughter? What evil ego grows so deep in the cauldron of his soul that he can send the innocent to their death without remorse, even as he slides guiltlessly beyond the killing fields he creates? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. To this face I must bow to, each day, in my presence, bestow my obsequiousness like some sheepish lapdog on this grotesquerie that leaps at the world from behind its sadistic mind, sick with desire to control. To control. Not just a man, but the goddamn world. To this I bow. The house nigga that ties his fortune to white power. Because he knows the whip sting awaits should he turn against those that gave him entrance to the hollow halls that control all. How high do I rise? So far the cries of those in chains so long ago are no longer but whispers now. No longer the lingering lamentations of those kindred spirits searching for the one to right the wrongs they endured. That was me when I was young, full of vinegar pulsing through my veins. Afraid of none, hero to all, I lived the goddamn dream. Naive perhaps? No. Ignorant. Stupidly believing it was there for me. A dream for whitey only. Dressed in lies, wearing a black face. Mocking my every step as I climbed up the ladder, rung by agonizing rung, and lost my soul. Enough of this gargoyle. Slimy thoughts drip over his protruding tongue and fall like acid drops below. Another. I'll have another to smooth my soldering anger. But first I must have an elixir. Drown this gnawing pain that strains at my gut. Like some knife of shame. Two-edged blade, bloody by deeds done and silence lies told to hide the truth. Twist, cutting in honor as deeply as it does my heart. Now there's a face. Conceited, conniving, coarse, no, more, warped, obsessed. Yes, obsessed and diabolical, the Rasputin of our court. Out of his pen pours prejudice, garbed in learned jargon, absolute in its oblique assertions that turns the simple minds that guides this misguided nation. This too must I bow before, lest I offend the ass to which his nose is hooked. Browned by years of cowering subservience to hold the pants of those in power. If I grovel, how much more does he? But I know it, for he cares not, for he has no morals. Nothing but the void beneath that face. What evil does he perpetuate on a beguiled nation? What deceit lives behind those eyes? A veritable nest of maggots that lives on lies. Yet he greets the world in fawning smiles. The very image of the candy man brings hope to all, when in fact he is the Iceman. God, what a bloody crew of blind men that leads this country down the path to the ditch of doom. I grow morose and cynical. There must be laughter to quell these doldrums or I go mad. What fool can I beckon to my cause whose image presents itself? I feel like Faust in the fullness of his power as he summoned Mephistopheles to raise the radiant Helen before his eyes. Here is my demon on call, a plastic remote that summons the radiance of Rumsfeld. Here is grace, comeliness, charm, a smile to bedevil the gods, eyes squinting in the glare of his own brilliance that shines forth from his eloquent mouth, in phrases picked from the tree of knowledge before the gates of heaven slam shut. Or so he believes in his own gut. So sad how ego can pluck sense from the minds of men. How he beguiles the press who prance before his podium like old waifs in old England, awaiting the proper pence from the hands of the blessed chosen. He regales them with known knowns and known unknowns and unknown unknowns, and they scribble these pearls of wisdom onto their notebooks like obedient children, ignorant of their sense, while he loses the horror of war and terror in jazzy riffs of obfuscation, and they, befuddled by his merriment, forget the death and destruction he came to announce to the nation. Oh, how many bobbling fools bob before the multitudes on fluid screens, chortling with glee this clown's distortion of the truth. Fed things that haven't happened, could not have happened had they sense. They had mesmerized the people who seek incited acceptance of fallacies only an O'Reilly or Rush could conjure as certitude. Minds made infallible by ignorance and ego. And to think I knew them all, yet yielded to their vain entreaties to join the team to make America great. And yes, I would have total control of state, free to assert a direction and design, the fulfillment of a dream deferred, the mark of the oppressed made visible to all as I guided the ship of state. What a joke! What ignorance propelled me? What made me think power would be handed to a nigger? Did I think the true thought evaporated when the word was expunged? Have I joined the hollow men? Heartless, cruel, vengeful, cursed? Shall I ride this frightful hearse, or shall I pluck myself free and pray that I can salvage eternity? If there is a face that epitomizes this ship of fools, it is this. This is not a face of flesh. There's no person here, no form that grew in time from the mule and child. Rather, this is the face of heaven cursed to walk the earth, to wander the earth forever. Lucifer incarnate in our shape. Vengeance made palpable, searching the destruction of God's creation. The mariner damned every day by day to live its horror before all humankind, alone and barren, bereft of human kindness and love. A wandering, pitiful wandering substance, formed without conscience, without compassion, without remorse. Power and control propel this monster, oblivious to pain and suffering, since he cannot die again. His life is everlasting death, damned to wander the earth byways, weeping to the wandering children and women that cling to each other despite the devastation. He sees a love that binds, a love he cannot share, though he knows it alone is life's fulfillment. Such is the power that plays with this putty. Here is true commedia dell'arte. The mask presented to the people and the voice that speaks through the mask. Evil personified in the form of Rove. America hears this self-mocking fool and loves his bumbling mouth, but neither the fool nor the people know the source of this mindless banter. This Lucifer ties two threads of fate with magnificent dexterity. The neocons sugarcoated hate and God's gift to humanity, as reported by the righteous marketers who coat the hearts and minds of their idolaters with prophecy and fear. Oh, I should raise the specter of all this evil horde this night to haunt my dreams and drive my despair as I grapple in blindness to confront